Hey, good morning, everyone. It's April 14th, 2019. I'm Eric. So, let's get a little bit of business out of the way first. This video that I uploaded last night wasn't not meant to be uploaded yet. I wasn't done editing, and I accidentally dragged it into the upload box there on YouTube. And it didn't even, occur to me that I uploaded the wrong video until like 3 hours later. So, my apologies on that one. I am going to be working on it a little more before I do permanently upload it. If you agree with what I say most of the time in the videos, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and my PayPal link is below as well. Let's get it. If Trump is so worried about fake news, why is he prosecuting WikiLeaks, who's been 100% correct? I asked a similar question yesterday in, I think, the video I was actually supposed to upload. I don't get it. I don't understand how Donald Trump, unless, of course, he is part of the deep state. That's the only way Assange's arrest makes any sense. As a matter of fact, he should have been let go a long time ago. But, hey. But they're right. If they're worried, if Trump is so worried about fake news, then why is he allowing this to happen to Julian Assange? And by the way, if this can happen to him, this can happen to anybody. Just like these gun confiscations, red flag laws going on right now. And they're continuing to expand in different places. You know, if I have a gun, it would be so much more easy to save your life than if I don't have one. It's true that guns are used to take lives, but it's equally true that they are used to save them. So, you know, them taking our guns will be the biggest crime in human history, in my opinion. Alright. And by the way, speaking of guns, Kamala Harris, one of those anti-gunners, let me see. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. I believe I do remember the quote right, though. Kamala Harris says that she carries a gun for personal protection, and yet the same individual wants to deny your rights for personal protection. I guess you have to make it up to the higher echelons, right, in order to be qualified to carry a weapon with you. Cops throw an innocent 16-year-old girl down the stairs, punch, taser, stomp on her head, and then lie about it. I touched on that yesterday, but I cannot tell you enough about these things, because next it could be you at one of these DUI checkpoints, or like here in the South, during one of these operations like Rolling Thunder. It can happen to you, it can happen to your child, it can happen to your fucking grandma. And yet you continue to jiggle your tongue in the asses of police. And yes, I'm going to cover a couple of these in full. One of them is this here. You're going to need your guns. I promise you. You're going to need them. And I keep my promises. Alright. The weakening of Earth's magnetic field has greatly accelerated, and that could have apocalyptic implications for all of us. This is from Michael Schneider. Okay, so if you scroll through YouTube frequently, you may have come across many videos regarding Earth's magnetic poles shifting. And they are shifting. And when they reach a certain point, they kind of snap into the position they're going to be in. And when that snap occurs, all kinds of bad shit happens. Earth's magnetic field is getting significantly weaker. The magnetic North Pole is shifting at an accelerating pace, and scientists readily admit that a sudden pole shift could potentially cause trillions of dollars in damage. And why is it always boiled down to how much money in damage? Today, most of us take the protection provided by Earth's magnetic field completely for granted. It is essentially a colossal force field which surrounds our planet and makes it life possible. And even with such protection, a giant solar storm could still potentially hit our planet and completely fry our power grid. But as our magnetic field continues to get weaker and weaker, even much smaller solar storms will have a potential to be cataclysmic. And not to mention our UV readings are off the charts. Today, it's very high, according to my little weather app here. Yeah, it's at an 8. Which means very high on the UV index. So, and we're going to see a lot more of those very high readings as a result of our magnetic shields weakening. And once the magnetic field gets weak enough, we will be facing much bigger problems. As you will see below, if enough solar radiation starts reaching our planet, none of us will survive. Unless we go underground, and human beings really aren't meant to live underground for long periods of time. Previously, scientists had told us that the magnetic field was weakening by about 5% every 100 years. And this number was incorrect. But now we are being told that data collected from the Swarm satellite indicate that the rate of decay is now 5% per decade. And they're probably not even telling us the truth about that per decade. How many times has the so-called experts made a prediction? Well, let's take the 1970s, for example, when they said we're going to be, freezing our asses off. There would be mountains of snow and all this shit, right? And then how many years later? Oh, no. We meant global warming, and now it's climate change, because they don't know what the fuck is going on, actually. All they can do is the same as the people on YouTube, is take the data sets and come to a conclusion based on those data sets, and some of them just blatantly lie about their conclusions because they don't want to, what is it? What's the typical excuse? Oh, that's right. They don't want to disrupt the economy. It's well established that in modern times, the axis dipole component of Earth's main magnetic field is decreasing by approximately 5% per century. Recently, scientists using the Swarm satellite announced that their data indicates that a decay rate 10 times faster, or 5% per decade. In case you didn't quite get that, that's 5% per decade is 10 times faster than 5% in a century. If the rate of decay continues at this pace, or if it speeds up even more, which it will, we could be looking at a mass extinction event that is beyond what most people would dare to imagine. As more solar radiation reaches Earth, we could expect, or we would expect, to see a rise in cancer rates. And this is something that even National Geographic has acknowledged. I'm not going to read what National Geographic has to say about it, because most of the time, they too are lying sacks of shit. Of course, we are already seeing this. Cancer rates have been rising all over the world, and if you live in the United States, there is 1 in 3 chance that you will get cancer in your lifetime. But as the magnetic field continues to weaken, things will get worse, a lot worse. The weaker the magnetic field gets, the amount of solar radiation that will reach us will, and eventually it would get so bad that the entire human race would be in jeopardy. The following comes from Futurism. Radiation and cosmic rays are a real concern for NASA, especially when it comes to long-term space flight. Astronauts on a mission to Mars could undergo up to 1,000 times the exposure to radiation and cosmic rays that they would get on Earth. If Earth's magnetic field disappeared, the entire human race and all of life, in fact, would be in serious danger. Cosmic rays would bombard our bodies and could cause damage to our DNA. Even more damage than what Monsanto and others have done. Now, even if some of us found a way to survive underground for a while, we still wouldn't be able to survive because solar winds would strip away our planet's atmosphere and oceans. And it would take a while. But basically, going underground, yes, you would get to live a little longer, but what kind of existence would it be? So could such a scenario actually happen? Some scientists are saying that our magnetic field could be gone in as little as 500 years. But they are telling us not to worry because Earth's magnetic poles will flip and things will eventually return to normal. And that's probably correct, but when they do finally flip and snap into to their next location, it causes earthquakes and other insane shit to happen. You can probably chalk up at least one mass extinction event to a pole shift, rather. So there's that. I'm telling you, one way or the other, we're going to see some horrible, horrible times. And of course, most scientists believe that a pole shift takes hundreds or thousands of years to happen. But they don't actually know because they've never seen one take place. Just like they don't know about Yellowstone, which is continuing its uptick in volcanic and seismic activity. So there's that. And this one is on SHTF if you care to read the entire thing. So, there's no way to prepare for that. No way. I mean, yeah, you could rack up as much food and water and ammo and weapons as possible, but at the end of the day, you'll have to go underground, and those supplies will run out, and you're going to die anyway. Now, my next video, I'm going to cover the latest shit on the economy. And this one is particularly telling here, and I will get into why in my next video. Goldman recalibrates Fed forecast. No more rate hikes before 2020 election. Isn't that strange? Before the 2020 election. Why would they care about the 2020 election? Anyway, thought I'd share these things with you. I hope everyone has a great Saturday morning. Till next time, kill the steak, live free.